horsepower. This is a Warbird Classic. In the United States, it was called the T6 Texan. In Canada, it's called a Harvard. If a young pilot could master this monster, they'd get their free pass to some of those high-performance beauties of World War II. But passing the Harvard is harder than it looks.
Them boys just had a wild landing. I'll bet you there's some wide eyes in that thing.
Between them, 10,300 hours logged in the air. Robert Rooster Riker, Air Force test pilot, 10,000 hours. Mark Miller, wildlife filmmaker, 300 hours. Two men, two very different worlds, one love. It's time to kick the tires, light the fires, and get this puppy in the air. They are the Airdogs. They are some of the sexiest aircraft of the Second World War. The P-51 Mustang, the Spitfire, the Hawker Hurricane. Legendary fighters that are fast and furious. But before you'd climb into the cockpit of one of these combat beauties, first you'd have to graduate from the Harvard.
It's a big airplane with a lot of power.
With its massive radial engine and 600 horsepower, the Harvard was the training aircraft for pilots between 1938 and 1955.
This airplane was known sort of by two names. In the British Commonwealth training program, this was known as the Harvard. If you were in the American program, it was known as the T6 or the AT6. And AT stood for Advanced Trainer.
For this mission, Mark and Rooster have come to this prairie airfield, home of the legendary Peach brothers. Warren and brother Kent are part of a family that's been in the aviation biz for 50 years.
Is your insurance up to date?
These are people who take airplanes that are often rusty heaps, and they'll turn them into beautiful airplanes.
You might recall Kent's the guy who tried to teach the Airdogs his insane air show act, landing an airplane on a motorhome.
You're doing all right, man. Don't force it. Okay, you've lost it. Let's go.
Whoa!
This is easier. This is kind of more relaxed than that.
These guys live and breathe vintage aircraft.
I love coming down here and flying because it's all about flying here. There's nothing else going on.
And the Airdogs hope some of that rubs off on them
I want you to get used to looking side to side.
as they learn to fly this 1939 RCAF Harvard.
This airplane actually was previously registered in Canada.
Rooster and Mark are following the flight path of a typical wartime pilot.
Try to put myself into the head of a young pilot who might have only had a fifth of the hours I have. And yet here he is flying something that has 600 horsepower.
Harvards once filled the skies over military airfields across North America.
21,000 of these airplanes were built, and every one of those trained hundreds of young pilots.
Now, Rooster already knows flying with the Peach brothers is not going to be a walk in the park.
You are going to be starting the airplane, running the radios, running the gear.
I've flown with Warren, okay? I know what he's like. Mark needs to check his ego at the door. He needs to grow a little bit of alligator skin because he's going to beat him up a little bit in there. I mean, he's not going to go easy on him.
I can shut this whole operation down anytime I want.
But if the boys can survive this, they'll move on to the ultimate prize in flying, the P-51 Mustang.
The dream for most guys is to get into those really high-performance airplanes, but you got to get through this. This is an obstacle, and I've got to get past it. I'm feeling just a little bit overwhelmed right now with everything.
This is big boy stuff, right? This isn't, I mean, this isn't a $150 out there at the flying club.
This is an old airplane. It's in great condition, but, you know, airplanes break, and I don't want to be the guy who screws up.
I think when he first got in the airplane, it all of a sudden probably hit him how big of a step he was taking.
Somebody watch these wings.
The boys have a lot of ground to cover in just a few days, so there's no time to waste.
Is the prop clear?
With Mark strapped in, Warren runs him through the start procedure. And the Golden Girl growls to life.
As soon as you start that airplane, you feel it. The whole airplane shudders. That is a lot of horsepower. Oil pressure? Pressure's coming up.
This may be the toughest airplane Mark's ever had to learn to fly.
Go ahead and put a little power in, bring it about. There you go, right there.
To complicate matters, Mark is the only one who has access to flaps and gear. Warren's riding in the back, so he only has basic controls.
If we did have an emergency, I mean, I'm the guy that's going to make or break this day, and that's a little bit of pressure.
Leave the power up while you're doing that. Yeah, leave the power up. Having a little bit of trouble.
And one other thing, the Harvard has just had new brakes installed. Warren says they are very, very touchy.
And just tap the brake.
If Mark taps those brakes when they're at speed or on start or when the engine's up at power, it knows the airplane over. That's all bad.
Think you're riding the brakes, Mark. Let it roll ahead a little bit and then just tap the brake that you want to use, okay?
They're barely 2 minutes into the mission, and already Mark is wreaking havoc on the airfield.
You got to be very cognizant of your prop blast. That little airplane behind us just got beat up a little bit, so you're fine.
At this rate, they'll be back tomorrow morning.
Even with Warren in the back seat, the Harvard is a lot of airplane for our junior Airdog.
I just found it difficult even just getting it starting to roll.
I told him, I said, well, this is just taxiing.
Not making it easy on me, though.
You said not to make it easy on you, didn't you?
You did not say that. Rooster said that.
But Mark is determined to handle the Harvard. He knows he may have bit off more than he can chew, but this is the only way to move up to the Mustang.
I was handling the radios.
431, you're clear for takeoff. 431, clear for takeoff.
I was handling a complicated new system. I mean, I may have bit off more than I can chew.
You're riding the brakes, Mark. All right. Put your feet right down on the floor. You don't need brakes.
I got 'em on the
Okay.
floor.
I was rattled from the moment I started the thing.
Okay, this boat's short. We'll get you off.
Stop. Easy. Okay.
The Airdogs have yellow fever.
It's a serious airplane to fly. There's no doubt about it.
The Harvard is one of the top military combat trainers of all time. And the Airdogs are getting a hands-on history lesson.
This is the most ponies I've ever handled. 600 horsepower.
If Mark and Rooster get a passing grade, they'll be cleared to fly one of the fastest fighters of World War II, the Mustang.
If I fail at this, I can forget about ever getting beyond this airplane.
Mark's on his first flight,
Leave the power up while you're doing that.
but so far, he's having trouble just taxiing.
You're riding the brakes, Mark. All right.
Actually, this trainer may train him.
Instructor Warren Peach is in the back.
You didn't have the stick quite all the way ahead, Mark.
He really needs to listen carefully to what Warren's giving him in terms of advice.
The Harvard was purposely designed to be difficult to handle. The idea was to get pilots ready for more powerful Mustangs and Spitfires.
Now hold right here so the tower doesn't think you're pulling out front, okay?
Warren demos the first takeoff. It's important that Mark understand that the massive prop and engine will cause the airplane to pull to the right.
To repair these airplanes, it's a lot harder to find left wings than right wings. Everybody busts the left wings off. I don't want to be that guy.
Okay, you're up, Mark. You're up.
Less than a minute after takeoff, Warren hands it over.
Okay, you got the controls, Mark. I have the airplane.
On the ground, the Harvard was a bear. In the air, Mark realizes she's a whole other animal.
I didn't really feel I had a good handle on the airplane.
No worries. You're feeling the airplane out. I'm not back here giving you a check ride yet.
The lesson starts with simple, shallow turns.
Rolling left.
But Mark is struggling to hold attitude and altitude.
Right about there.
On the ground, Rooster can only guess how his fellow Airdog is doing.
That flight suit won't be dry, let's put it that way. That flight suit's going to be wet. Just hope he can handle it.
Why don't you give me about 20 degrees of flat? Whoa. Pretty reactive, isn't it?
But as Mark spends more time in the airplane, his confidence starts to grow.
You feel it? Yep.
They try steep turns and slow flight.
Yeah, it's a beautiful flying airplane.
Boy, it sure is.
I think it intimidated him to start out with. As we flew the airplane out there, that started to fall away a little bit. Lower the nose. There you go.
After an hour in the air, they head back to the airfield and set up for landing.
A little bit too much power reduction there. We're sorry.
Getting it close to the ground is where the action is. It's not a very forgiving airplane.
The Harvard requires a seriously steep approach.
Landing gear is down and locked.
A lot of things happen in a very short period of time, so Warren demos the landing.
I did, however, lose the runway. I can't see it at all.
Okay, to your left.
He's back in the trunk of this thing. He can't see jack.
I got the runway again now. Okay, let's bring the airplane down. And I'm going to bring the airplane to a full stop so that we can reconfigure.
It's going to be Mark taking off on this one, so we'll see how he does.
Right there, keep it straight. Yep, bring the tail down, fly it off. Here we go. There you go, you're airborne, dude.
Mark's takeoff is good and straight.
get a little more left rudder in there when you get around the corner. Left rudder.
But now the real work, getting the airplane back on final and safely back on the ground.
Right where you're at, Art. A nice, easy flare.
But with Warren watching closely, Mark sets it down. Not perfect, but not bad for a first-timer.
Yep.
Apparently I wasn't straight coming down the runway on my landing.
Tail will shoot me a little bit because you're getting a little bit of a side load on stuff.
He's gonna sit down, he's gonna talk to me about that.
How was it? There's a lot of management just even on the ground there.
Yeah.
Mark should be happy. You'll need to improve, but overall it was a pretty good flight.
There is a lot to learn in this airplane, and and you did a good job for your first trip. If he shows me tomorrow, without me coaching him, what he did tonight, then we're well on our way to up to the Mustang. Maybe.
One Airdog down, another to go.
It is a tricky airplane to fly. If it was very easy to fly, it wouldn't be doing its job.
Tomorrow, it's Rooster's turn. At first light, the classic trainer is rolled out for another day of schooling the Airdogs.
The staples of his instruction are fear, sarcasm, and ridicule.
We'll hear the rooster crow a little.
Now, Rooster's going into this with a slight advantage. A few years ago, he did a ride in a T6, the American version of the Harvard.
The switch placements are a little bit different, but the basic airframe and engine are identical.
You can tell a Harvard from a T6 by looking at the exhaust. The Harvard uses its exhaust to send heat into the cockpit. Nice when training in the winter.
So here's the American version, nothing going into that airplane at all.
But Rooster won't need that today. Warren is planning to give our boy a substantial workout.
Walk me through it a little bit.
Prop clear. No more than 1,200 RPM until we get some heat.
Even though Rooster has lots of experience, he needs to remember this isn't supposed to be easy.
Cool, man, while we're flying this thing.
I'd rather have you pay attention to keeping the airplane centered up and flying the airplane.
Now we're getting there.
There we go.
Tail up. Okay, it's ready to fly. And I got my chase.
Pull the tail back down. Fly it off. There you go. That's good. Lead it right there.
Rooster gets the Harvard into the air. But 10 seconds into the flight, he's already in trouble. On a busy airfield, with small aircraft and big airliners, a bright yellow piece of history is turning heads.
This is a high-performance airplane. It's never supposed to be taken lightly.
The Airdogs are in flight school on a classic World War II trainer, the Harvard.
I have the airplane. Let's climb up to 4,000 feet at the current power setting, okay?
On his first flight, Mark found out the Harvard can be one tough teacher.
So, don't worry.
Just because it looks cute and yellow, don't assume it's easy.
And we're here to be trained. We're here to learn.
Now it's Rooster's turn. With instructor Warren Peach in the back,
Feels like you're riding a brick.
No, I'm not.
Rooster can't let the big yellow bird get the better of him.
There we go.
Getting a feel for its 600 horsepower, the Airdog puts the trainer through its paces. Rooster pours on the power to keep up with our camera plane.
No, okay.
That gets Warren's attention.
You're fine. I thought you were pulling the prop back. Sorry about that.
Turns out it's no big deal. In fact, Rooster aces his upper air work. Makes it look like he's been flying the Harvard for years.
Okay, gear down.
Okay, gear is selected down, speed checks.
Rooster heads back to the field for his first landing.
Coming in steep, eh? My problem is I don't know what a good landing is.
How are we doing?
We're off to the left here.
Okay.
Correcting.
Hold it off, hold it off, hold it off, hold it. Oh, you're fine. Beautiful. Let's prepare the airplane for takeoff.
No bits of airplane on the runway, so I assume that's a good landing, eh?
It might have looked good to the untrained eye, but Rooster knows he can do better.
It touched down before I wanted it to, so obviously I wasn't recognizing something.
So he heads around the patch one more time to try it again.
Nobody coming in to kill us, except for me.
He wasn't happy with his touchdowns, which is why we made an additional takeoff and landing.
Oh, you... It's late on that flare. I want to get that flare.
No, I'm not. That's not good with me. I got to go around and go. Go ahead.
On center line, winds from the right. Son of a...
On Rooster's third try, things go from bad to bouncy.
Want it to be nice.
Third one really wasn't any better than the others.
Even in skilled hands, the Harvard can be one tough old bird.
How did you do? You did all right?
Yeah.
Bounced a couple times the last one.
He's not happy with the landings, but they were very sufficient.
Overall, Warren's impressed.
I'd be comfortable turning the Rooster loose with the airplane and let him go.
But Mark still needs a lot of training.
What I didn't realize is they did purposely make it hard to fly to get guys ready for the Mustangs.
If he wants a shot at the Mustang, he knows he'll have to do a lot better on his second hop.
The reason I'm here is to give you as much of a chance as I can to do as much flying in the Mustang as you can. Show me what you know.
While Mark gets ready to fly, Warren cooks up a surprise for his student.
Okay.
When you see Goldie show up, bounce him.
Okay, we're going to put the Harvard in a T6 formation. We're going to surprise Mark with that.
This is going to be fun.
As far as Mark knows, Rooster and Cantor just going for a quick rip in the T6.
Well, Rooster, you know, I'm pretty new in this airplane myself.
Yeah,
and so between us, we've got about 15 minutes.
All right. I'll just bring it up a little bit and get on the wire. All right, Mark. Okay, ready? Yeah, it's showtime. Okay. Are you ready? I'm ready.
For Mark, this is do or die. It's time to show he can fly.
Fly it off. Okay, that's plenty of aileron. There you are. You're airborne, dude.
The stakes are high.
We're looking good. Okay, level.
This Airdog knows if he wants to get his hands on the Mustang,
Go ahead and turn right. Right.
he'll have to take the Harvard for one heck of a ride.
Keep your eye on the ball. Stay on task. Okay. I'll come up there and rip your hair off if I have to.
Let's do it.
The Airdogs have enrolled in Harvard University.
This airplane, in many ways, is almost more important than the Spitfire.
Mark and Rooster are learning to fly a classic military training aircraft, the Harvard.
The purpose of the airplane was specifically to give them the tools that they needed to fly high-performance aircraft.
Hey, did I tell you I got a bad eye and I have no depth perception?
Both have now flown the trainer once.
Whoa, pretty reactive, isn't it?
But because his first flight was a little shaky, Mark gets one more shot.
I've never flown anything with 600 horsepower before, so that's a big radial engine.
Fly the airplane off. Okay, that's plenty of aileron. There you are. You're airborne, dude.
If this doesn't go well, he won't get to fly his dream plane, the more powerful P-51 Mustang.
There's going to have to be a big steepening of the curve from here on out.
We're a little bit high, but that's better than low.
So far, his second flight is going much better.
Keep it straight. There you go. Perfect.
I had two really beautiful landings, unassisted, two beautiful takeoffs.
I was doing as much as I could to stay out of Mark's way, keeping my mouth shut and letting him make the decisions of when, where, and how to do things.
But just when Mark thinks he has nothing to worry about,
Hey, dude, look on your right wing.
a surprise visitor pulls up alongside.
Get him away from me.
Today, Mark, look off your right wing.
And there's Rooster in the T6 flying off my wing.
Looks like the whole canopy's fisted up.
Mark may be getting comfortable in the Harvard, but tight formation is another story.
No crowds in Ellerman, all right?
I think he was a little bit nervous about the close proximity.
We're flying a three-plane formation, and I've been in with this airplane for 2 hours. That's right. Stay on task. You're the man right now. We can't screw up in this position. We got a lot of sheet metal moving around.
We flew around for about 40 minutes. It was just fantastic.
For Mark to be able to lead a formation of two Harvards around the countryside, pretty neat.
I'll see you guys later.
It's a spectacular way to wrap up training on the Harvard.
I want you to come in here, get your speeds, get your altitudes, configure the airplane, get her done.
Mark's final landing isn't perfect,
What are we doing? Too high, you're too high.
but it's a big improvement over his first flight.
That was all you, Mark. I was on the controls, but I didn't put any inputs in them.
He flared just a little high and caught it with power, but I would have preferred that he would have caught it with power, flown the airplane down to the ground, and re-flared the airplane.
Nothing bad happened. Actually got a pretty good landing on it. I actually heard the wheels chirp.
As for Rooster, well, he doesn't know it yet,
Here, Don.
but he's about to get a wake-up call. His approach looks pretty good. Rooster wants to finally nail a landing.
There we go, folks.
But as he flies over the numbers, things start to go sideways, literally.
Crap.
The airplane pitches to one side. A wing dips. If it hits the ground, the airplane could flip.
It just about got me. I should have just went around.
I'll bet you there's some wide eyes in that thing. They flared way high and it touched down sideways and they had the left main off and them boys just had a wild landing.
It was a real eye-opener for me.
If Rooster was hoping to make a good impression, this is not the way to impress Warren.
This is the cardinal rule in tailwheel airplanes. Never, ever, ever let it get crooked on landing, and I let it get crooked. When I touched, it swung on me, and fortunately, able to get it back real quick.
Mark is one happy student.
Good job.
Rooster, not so much.
Yeah, I knew I'd flared high, so I'm like, I'll soften it with a little power. But it was higher than I thought it was.
Well, I said,
and then it
Rooster,
started
you're
going
high.
sideways, and I never picked up on the sideways until it just touched, and then it swung.
I was thinking, Rooster, get this thing down next to the ground. What are you doing?
No matter how long you've been flying, no matter how good you are always learning.
You do that in the Mustang, you're tearing it up. I mean, it's junk.
Can't let your guard down. I mean, he recovered the airplane, and, you know, someone like me probably wouldn't have known what to do, and I would have bent metal.
For once, Miller's going to be able to poke me in the chest and say, what were you thinking? I guess we're done flying together for the rest of our lives.
Goodbye.
The good news? Well, everything turned out okay. Rooster logs a bruised ego.
Rooster's buying beer tonight.
The Airdogs log a couple more airplanes. But one important question remains. Are they good enough to graduate to the Mustang?
I think we're ready to put them in the backseat of a Mustang. I think that's where we'll go from here.
So the Airdogs have their next mission, the P-51 Mustang.
If they thought this Harvard was a challenge, the P-51 is going to be a mountain to climb.
The Mustang is something to look forward to. The Harvard is something they won't ever forget. The nasty yellow trainer that taught the Airdogs a tough lesson.
It's a big airplane, and it's relatively docile if you do everything right, but you get behind the curve, like what happened to Rooster today, and it'll kill you.